friends. I'm Prairie Vintage. My name is Linda. I'm an energy intuitive reader here on YouTube. I use spirits and my intuition, the tarot, to communicate energies to you guys, most amazing viewers. If you're new to this channel, welcome. I'm so glad you found me. And for those of you guys returning, I'm so blessed, so grateful to be doing your reading yet again today. Today's reading, we're looking at what it is that you're needing to know about your healing journey. Maybe you're stuck, or maybe you're missing something that needs to be understood by you in order for you to ascend, for you to heal and progress. All right, so healing's not easy, and sometimes the messages aren't easy either. So if you're not in the mood to listen to this message, and you can come back to this reading because it could be triggering if we're not prepared to hear what it is that Spirit wants to communicate. Okay, so that will lead us to the disclaimer of this reading. For those of you guys who are new to tarot, tarot does not predict future state. Okay, it's not a prediction of what's to come. Tarot is reflecting back to you and mirroring your state of consciousness. So if it doesn't resonate with your current energy or your intuition, then it is most likely not your reading. Okay, it shouldn't be something that's out there or completely not understood by you. It should be something that is intuitively understood. Okay, and so if we feel uncomfortable, doesn't mean it's not our message. Just means that maybe there's an area there that Spirit wants us to take a look at. Okay, because healing is never comfortable when it pushes us outside of our comfort zone. Okay, and that's always a win, meaning we've located an area we're needing to uncover. And so sometimes if we're not prepared to look in the dark because we don't know what we're going to see, then we could resist, okay, in all sorts of ways, by sabotaging and fighting, and maybe whatever comes through might be a way of us not having to deal with certain truths. Okay, so if that happens, it might just not be your time to sit with that level of understanding. Okay, and so as we work through our ascension, we get to a place where we can get to a higher level of consciousness and start to understand concepts and spirituality on a more deeper level of knowingness. Okay, and so a lot of times messages will connect and resonate because we're vibrating at that state of consciousness in order for the information to make sense. Okay, so that means this reading isn't for everyone. Okay, and you could be drawn to any one of these piles, and it could be your current, passing, present, future energy, because energy is not linear and it's not sitting in form. And so I could be tapping into any sort of state of that energy frequency for you. Okay, and the only way out of that energy frequency is for you to change your energy frequency, which you can do. It's all up to you. Okay, you're sort of the driver of your ship, and you can tune into any energy frequency you want. And this is why we connect with tarot and the divine, so we can course correct and make changes to our energy. A lot of times I tap into energy of people, situations around you. And so I might refer to it as your energy, but it might just be predominant energy in your energy field. It could be someone you're dealing with. Maybe you're in a connection with someone. Maybe there's a situation overpowering you. Maybe you're going through a karmic lesson of sorts. Okay, if that's the case, then the energy will sound familiar, but you can attribute whose energy that is. If there's a multitude of energies in that pile, I will indicate as such, and then you attribute whose energy is what and what belongs to you. Okay, and like I said, if you're triggered or not prepared to hear the messages, you can always come back. My readings are always timeless, meaning when your level of consciousness is ready to absorb that information, then the reading will appear and you will resonate with whatever that messaging is. Okay, don't force it. And any specific messages are certainly for certain key individuals that are needing to hear confirmation. Don't take specifics to your situation if it doesn't apply. It's the overall energy in that pile that should resonate and make sense. All right, so let's take a look at the decks we're using. And for the tarot, we'll be using the Mystical Moments. All right, so if at any point you're drawn to any one of these cards, you can select from the timestamp. It'll be in the description box and in the pinned comment below. I will reveal these shortly and we'll pull a charm for all three of these. Now, for those of you guys interested in a private reading or any of my vintage antique collectible jewelry, pottery, glass, whatever is there on my website, I will be running a special promotion, including all tarot readings, for 15% off if you use the code at the checkout, OneLove15. Okay, so if you're interested in 15% off your order, then that runs through all of right now, all the way through to Valentine's Day. Okay, so let's take a look at the three options for you guys, beautiful people. So option number one, we have the Watchers with Transpersonal, card number 60. Pile number two, we have 56 with The Wall and Obstacles. And option number three, we have 19, Falling Angel, Spiritual Narcolepsy. Let's pull a charm. Option one, you guys got two charms. You guys have a skeleton key and a monkey. Option number two, you guys got three charms. You got a girl, a dolphin, and an owl. Option number three, you guys got four charms. You got a ring and a gecko or a lizard, could be a salamander, and a book that says Once Upon a Time, and a ladder. Okay, I'll move the charm box. And I will move this down here. I'll leave the video running for a bit so you guys don't get the awkward bar running through the video. And if you are pulled to multiple piles, like I say, it's absolutely fine to have multiple aspects, multiple energies in a situation, multiple people that might be involved in your energy or your healing or your journey. Okay, whatever the divine wants to pull through here. But use your intuition over my intuition and allow yourself to tap into that. Okay, there's no need to force, resist. And if you've tapped into the wrong pile, it's not your energy or doesn't resonate, go check out another one. Okay, no big deal. You don't got to sit there and listen to it and say it doesn't resonate. If it doesn't resonate, then go to another one. Okay, so I will see you guys at your pick. Hello, Blessed Angel Pile 1. What a beautiful card coming through here for you guys. Can't wait to get into your reading here. Let's tap into this energy check to see if this is something that resonates before we get into the card layout. Okay, now sometimes the channeling doesn't become very clear or what the messaging is until everything sort of comes together. Sometimes it's quick and sometimes it takes a while. Okay, so don't dismiss messages right away, but you shouldn't have to force it. Okay, like if it doesn't resonate and I'm sounding a little off or confused, it might take a bit to get there. Okay, but also we're not going to pigeonhole ourselves to what we're needing to hear or expecting to hear. Okay, or wanting to hear. We're going to be open to the divine because this is going to be something that has been potentially overlooked by you. And so the divine's coming through here with what is it that you're needing to see or understand a bit better. Maybe you've missed it or just don't get it, or for whatever reason, it's become an obstacle here in regards to your healing, your ascension, and your process. Okay, so let's get into what this energy is about. So card number 60 with the Watcher's Transpersonal, and you have the Skeleton Key and the Monkey. This card is all about becoming the observer, non-doership. And so when we're on the spiritual journey of ascension and we connect with the divine, we start to understand that we have less and less control of what's unfolding in front of us. Okay, and it's kind of like an oxymoron, because then we start to sort of manifest what we do want in a way that brings it towards us. And so it's very paradoxical. And what I mean by this is when we think we're the doer, we are an ego consciousness, okay? And we tend to think that we, the separate self, the little self, the I, is in control of outcome and what's happening. And so we're all stressed out, trying to make things happen. But really, the universe is always ticking and happening all at once and existing in its infinite abundance around us. And so we can be open to the infinite abundance, or we could be very limited in scope and seeing things as out there, and I'm separate and I'm having to chase and attain. And so that becomes a reality. I chase, I fight, I attain, and I do. And I'm controlling my set of circumstances. Meanwhile, the universe knows that it unfolds, and just like the law of attraction, when we understand that only our imagination is the cap in which we experience, then we're open to all possibilities, and we're present for everything, and we're able to see everything, so we can make different choices, and we could start to manifest differently when our mindset is different. Okay, we start to experience things differently. So this card is all talking about a shift in the way you engage, and going from being really in the minutiae and involved in the doing aspect to more of an observer, letting things unfold, being sort of at the mercy of the universe. Okay, now being at the mercy of the universe doesn't mean I do nothing and I sit on the couch and eat chips and now I have nothing to do. The observer role is really being led by the heart, being led by the divine, being led by something greater than ego. It is from the purest place of no trauma, and we're connected with everyone and everything. And so we're very responsive and we're very in tune with the divine. And so action comes from the heart and comes more of a second nature rather than a thought out sort of strategic plan from the mind. And so this monkey is giving me magician energy. So I feel like you're in prime energy to manifest, but I don't feel you're manifesting what you want. So the obstacle here is I feel you want to manifest something. You might be trying too hard, or how you're going about manifesting your desire is actually giving you the opposite results. Okay, and so that's where I feel you're stuck, is like you want something, or you're aware of how something could be or what is meant for you, but it's out of reach and it's not happening. And I don't know how long you've been at it. Okay, but I feel like Spirit's really saying you have the key. And this understanding of how you manifest is all to do with this sort of higher level of consciousness. And it does bring you closer to an enlightened state. Okay, and we use these words and they sort of lose their effect when we say enlightened. It just means the awareness of, the awareness of a different way of being, the awareness of all possibility is different now that I see the light, or now that I'm open to broadening how I perceive my situation. It's not limited. It's now broader. And so therefore I'm opening the bandwidth to be able to manifest. Okay, but if I'm narrow and if I think I control, then I'm limiting my scope. And now the universe can't quite bring to me however it was intending to bring to me, because I'm shutting down any other possibility but the one that I think needs to happen. Okay, so we need to drop all the I think, I do, and my will is my way, and allow the universe to unfold, and then us take action on how the universe unfolds. Because I think the universe is bringing to your feet an abundance of stuff. But it only brings the abundance of stuff once we remove the obstacle and open that door to infinite abundance, meaning all of that stuff that's available is there already to be had. It's all right at your fingertips. Okay, so the keys to the kingdom are being handed to you, but you're looking the opposite way and waiting for the keys. Meanwhile, the keys like right there. And so we open this door to this new possibility. And I feel like then, we're in the game of manifesting. Then we have the tool we need to say to the universe, here's what I want. Out of all of the stuff you're showing me and bringing to me, here are the things I want. And here are the things that I don't want. Okay, but when we're narrow on how we manifest, we're already putting to the universe, this is the only thing that I want and how it happens. And so we're very focused, and it's not allowing it to grow. Okay, so you do have the ability to manifest, and you do have this key available. It's just not happening in the way that you're going about it. So let's see what is coming through now. Okay, with these oracle cards. Now, allow your intuition to tap into my intuition. This will give you a chance to develop your intuition. And if you want to go straight away to the channeling, you can click on the main reading. So we have nirvana. Oh my goodness. So this is like a state of bliss. It's a state of samadhi, which is no mind. And we've reached a place where we're no longer sort of getting in the way of the universe by just being and allowing, breathing. And so we reach nirvana, bliss. Okay, we have butterfly spirit transformations, beautiful, gorgeous. So butterfly talks about liberation, freedom, and the transformation. 11's a master number. Divine inspiration, synchronicities, and the encouragement to keep going. You see the crown talking about empowerment. Okay, and then we see the dolphin spirit. This and that are true. Number 20 or the number 2. I love that. So dolphin talks about compassion and love, unconditional love. We see one dolphin, so unconditional love of self, compassion for self. This and that are true. And so this could certainly be talking about all perspectives are true to their relative perspective. Like everything is sort of true based on the relative perspective. Wow. Okay. And then 2 is all about balance, duality, and choices. Okay. And then we have the call of the muse, 31 or the number 4. 4 is all about structure, foundation, stability, planning. 4 is also emperor energy, which I was getting with the crown, empowerment. 4 is also the death reduced in the tarot, and that's about transformation, which we were also getting here. So Scorpio and Aries energy. I'm getting heavy also Cancer, Scorpio, Pisces from the dolphin. And we have throat chakra with number 5. The frequency of throat chakra, the blue flower of life, supports our self-expression and our sense of peace and balance. So throat chakra talks about how we can express our authenticity, but also intaking of information. So we can't really intake information if we're not prepared to vibrate in that level of consciousness so that we can resonate with what's being communicated to us. Okay, so this is ingoing and outgoing expression. And we have protect. You're being asked to protect yourself and your energy. It's okay to want to give to others, which you do effortlessly. It's important, though, that you set healthy boundaries with your energy before doing so. Now is the time to get protection in place, to get some protection in place. You see the shield. Should we put that there? Judgment. I understand that everyone has their own unique path and challenges. And we have surrender stress. Take a few deep breaths and exhale the tension you've built up in your body. Let the stress go as you come back to your center. She's wearing white and she looks like she's ascending, reaching a state of enlightenment here. The sun behind her. And we have the planet of South Node. South Node says, remember, reconsider, now is not the time to. So it's about past reflection, past situations. Blessed, 22. 22 is a master number. Peacemaker, which gives me a Libra energy. Diplomacy, healthy energetic boundaries, which we were getting with this card. Okay, divinely guided relationships with 22. All the star energy is giving me Aquarius, healing. And we have Uranus, Neptune with card number 60. So this energy with Uranus, it talks about the Great Awakener. That's tower energy. It's like eruption. Different ways potentially of seeing things unconventional or outside the box. And the Neptune is more of a dreamy state. It could be like fantasy state. So we can have either an unrealistic or a grounded perspective, depending on how this pulls through. And then we have opposition, confrontation, and these two butting heads. Okay, let me sit here with this energy, beautiful people, and you can click straight away on the channeled message. I will get my wand. I do want to read the call of the Muse. Oopsie. Let's see. 31. It says, key concepts, creative expression, being in the flow of creativity, tuning into inspiration, allowing creativity without being self-conscious, writing and journaling as a means of connection. When you feel the call of the muse, you're being invited to create, to be the artist, choreographing your life, serving on behalf of the great artist, divine source. While the process feels intensely personal, your ego and self-identification are, ironically, the most unnecessary parts of the equation. While you might think you own the magic of your creativity, you can truly say you're the source. Oh, can you truly say you're the source of inspiration? Similar to the spirit of genius from card 29, imagine your creativity stemming from another spirit guide, the muse. Just as the genius needs to partner with your intellect, so too does the muse need you to open your heart and let the magic flow through your intuition and emotion. Stop seeing yourself as the center of the process and instead see yourself as the partner in a creative dance. Sometimes you might be inside the music of the feelings, the story, and the expression. Other times you observe it from the sidelines, watching it as you flow from an unknown yet deeply intimate source. Okay, so that's the same energy we were getting with that. Okay, beautiful people. You've had a challenge situation, I feel, and I feel like a lot of you guys are dealing with a very stubborn or stuck situation where it's not manifesting forward or not moving. Okay, it could be someone specifically who's getting in your way or just has an opposing view. And you feel like it's not moving, it's not stuck, or it's not stuck, it's not moving and it feels stuck. Okay, so Spirit's really bringing forward this position that you're needing to take in order for things to shift. We have to shift our energy. And this is one of hanging on to what we know is right and true, to allowing what's happening to just be, which is a very uncomfortable state to be in when we think we're the doer and we have control. But this is what's going to manifest for you and allow things to flow and to move. Okay, and so I feel like whoever you're dealing with or whatever situation, we don't have to understand or agree that whatever it is that's happening or their position mentally makes sense to us or is even understood, okay, energetically by us. All we have to do is trust that the universe is allowing that person's situation to unfold as it does for a reason that we're not privy to at this time. This is going to allow a shift and a transformation. This is going to allow you to accept what is. Now, the only way we can't accept it is if we're passing a judgment. And we pass judgment when we haven't healed or done some sort of inner work on self. Okay, if we know that we don't judge self, that we have nothing within us that is shoved deep sort of in the shadowy self of ourselves that we don't want to look at, and we've healed and shined the light within us, then nothing out there can threaten us. No one's attitude, what no one says, what they're doing, saying, whatever, it doesn't impact us. The only time we get impacted and start to confront and get into battles with people and situations is when we're threatened. And so I feel like you're threatened. Okay, and when we feel threatened, it's because there's a fear and we have an attachment to control and outcome. So we have to really be honest with ourselves and say, where am I attached to an outcome? Because I'm coming up with a judgment of this situation that I already know or that I'm attached to. And that's the thing that I need to dissolve. Okay, but I think there's an understanding you have that I feel you're really attached to, and I feel like you're doing it out of thinking that you're self-preserving or protecting yourself, because I feel like you've experienced suffering or pain. So now it's kind of like the rat that experienced some sort of trauma, and then it's sort of anticipating that trauma, and so it relates that experience, whatever that experience is, to the trauma. And so it's a perpetual suffering. Okay, I forget what the name is of that. Is it Pavlov's dog? Or the elephant? The one where it has like a collar and a chain. I might be mixing my stories, but let's say you put a collar and a chain on a pet. Okay, and then you sort of call it, and it can't move any further than the post in which it's tied to. And then you take the collar and the chain off and you call it, and after a certain time it doesn't try to move from its post because it thinks it has the collar and the chain. So it's anticipating that the same thing would sort of happen to it. Okay, same thing like the rat. Like I was saying, if you keep doing the same thing with the rat, it kind of learns behaviors. So I feel like your behavior is in place right now to protect yourself. So it might be good intention based on a past experience that created some form of pain. Now, pain is inevitable. It happens to us all. Like I always mentioned, the flat tire, the breakup, the this, the that. It's happening. The universe is happening on a scale of the positive experience and the negative experience. Okay, not good or bad. That's just duality. That's the nature of energy. There's positive and negative when it comes to energy, polarity. Okay, and so we can't understand the positive if we don't have the negative. We can't experience the feminine if we don't have the masculine. Okay, so everything is sort of reflected back energetically with positive and negative. And so when we have the flat tire, which I use as the analogy, it's how we deal with that flat tire that really indicates the energy of what happens. So the flat tire is the pain, and then we can choose to suffer, meaning everything that happens after that flat tire becomes staying in the negative polarity. Complain about the tire. I see the tire as a loss. And then on my way to work, I'm talking to everyone about my tire, and I'm really upset by it. And so I could have a whole bunch of experiences on the way to work that I completely disregarded or didn't see because I was really, really, really thinking about how would I pay for that flat tire. It happened at the worst time. I have an event after work now I got to plan. And so my mind is really wrapped up in that. Okay. And we could say, well, it's real. The tire really did get flat and it really happened. But the part that's not real is the part that happened afterwards and all of that suffering. We were attached and identified to a story all the way to work. Okay. And so that attachment to the story missed that whole adventure. And what was happening in that adventure was real, was reality. Okay. The universe was unfolding in front of this person who had their flat tire, but they couldn't see it because they were in dream state, trying to protect themselves, from what they appeared as something bad. And so we go into fight or flight when we experience something that we perceive as bad. And so we're making a judgment, and Spirit's saying there is no bad and good. There's just an experience. Okay. And whatever we experience is the universe unfolding in front of us. And we're being asked to just be an observer. Okay. This doesn't mean we have to like the flat tire or say, wow, like this is the best thing ever. No, we don't have to lie about it. But we can say, thank you, universe, for giving me an experience of this flat tire. Okay. And so we welcome whatever this is without resisting, fighting, trying to change it, because we're not the doer. It's already happened. Okay. It's already happened. The universe is unfolding as it will. And so whatever is going to happen after that is the will of the universe. And so as it unfolds, we see it and we can make conscious choices and decisions. So now let's use that flat tire as an example. Okay, and now we're not stuck and hung up on the badness of it and talking to everyone about how horrible and planning for after work, but we see it as, okay, the tire came and now I'm open to the universe, and maybe I'm on the bus and I'm sitting beside, I don't know, someone who just won the lottery and has given away their car. And we start talking to this person and we're like, oh, my car, that I have is, I'm giving it, donating it. And yeah, if you want it, it's yours. Had we not been open, receptive to the universe to talk to this person, to connect with this person, we would have never had this free car. That would have solved our problem because we were too busy trying to make it happen. Okay, so the universe wants to make something happen in your world. You don't need to force it. Okay, and I feel like you're really stuck on your experience of the past, so you know better. But all you're doing is creating a judgment. All you're doing is creating a set of circumstances that's creating more suffering for you. And so this doesn't mean we can't speak our truth and be authentic, but I feel like we're confused with what authenticity means. Authenticity doesn't mean that the past is going to play out right now in the suffering. Okay, authenticity is I got to be in the present moment without any experience of the past in order for me to be authentic, in order for my truest version of myself to come out in this moment. I can't attach to a situation of the past. I can't attach to a happenings of the past. I have to be present, conscious, and the observer right here, right now to what's unfolding. And so as we develop this understanding, we transform and we drop. Ooh, there's the doorbell. I'll be right back, okay? Sorry about that. My dog's going to be barking for a bit. So we're a little confused with what authenticity is. Authenticity is our truest state without programming, without thought, without any triggers and experiences of the past contaminating the present moment. The present moment just requires an observer, witnessing what's happening, like being a pair of eyes, seeing what's happening, okay, and knowing that this and that are true, meaning whatever I experienced in the past was my truth and I experienced that. But right here in this present moment, I might be going through a similar flat tire event, but my outcome could be a complete different reality. Both are true. One resulted in suffering where I complained all the way home or to work or whatever. And the second experience of the flat tire was me meeting a stranger on the bus that was giving away a free car. two truths. Okay, but we are being asked to be aware of when we're bringing in our thoughts, bringing in our past experience, bringing in that into the present moment, because what that does is it's going to dictate your action. It's going to dictate your energy. It's going to dictate the judgments and the sort of authenticity that you can marinate in that moment, which changes the frequency. It changes the outcome. It changes what you're manifesting. So there needs to be a letting go, trusting the universe, surrender. And surrendering to this could be scary when we think we know more than the universe, when we've experienced pain or suffering, when we had to protect ourselves. And so we're in high vibration mode of protection. But then all that says to the universe is, I don't trust you, universe, to protect me. I don't trust you, universe. And the minute we start to go down that path, and then it sort of looks like it's a red flag, or we get that flat tire, we go back into the old mode and say, see, flat tire happened again. And it's like, yeah, the flat tires are going to happen. The universe isn't saying, trust me and you'll never get no more flat tires. It's like, no, trust, you'll still get flat tires. Trust that the thing that happened in the past is still potentially going to keep happening. But what's going to change now is your dance with the universe. What's going to change now is your reaction to that flat tire. Okay, now imagine experiencing this flat tire and not having that heaviness come with it. You can experience that because you're the one that's putting that heaviness onto that experience. You're saying it's bad. You're saying it's going to be this, that, and the other. The universe isn't saying that. They're just saying, here's a flat tire. It could be bliss or it could be not bliss. It's up to you. It could just be an experience that you had in the moment. It's up to you. You are the one that's going to attribute the energy you put to it. And so once you recognize the power you have, you reach a state of nirvana, because now it's like, I don't need to exert energy involving myself in minutiae and stress. So what could have been the flat tire of stress and prolonged suffering now becomes the flat tire of that experience, and it's shortened. And now I move on, and now I'm having conversations with strangers in the bus and having a whole different experience that was also meant to be, that also unfolded more blessings to me that I would have never experienced had I not had the flat tire. So which is better? Let's say that second experience that I talked about, maybe it leads to you getting a free car, and then you going, I don't know, to a party, and then meeting the love of your life, and then maybe stopping at the store and buying a lottery ticket and winning a lottery ticket. And all of that happened because of the flat tire. Like, wow, wouldn't we trade all of that sort of lucky activity, but we'd miss it had we had our head down or been complaining, right? Like we're there at the side of the road crying over the spilt milk. So the power is in your hands, essentially. Okay, and I'll give those two analogies. I don't think it's as simple as the flat tire. I feel like something's happened and something's triggering you to react in your situation, to guard yourself or protect yourself or keep responding in a certain way because you're attached to some understanding you have. And it's really deep down, you're judging a situation before it's even unfolded. But Spirit's saying you're actually blessed with this experience. Let it unfold. Let this experience unfold as it does. You'll notice when you allow the universe to take the wheel, you transform every time you surrender to the universe bit by bit. Less stress you carry, more abundance you see, more peace and bliss you get. Okay, and then more freedom you have to sort of be the master magician here in developing what you're supposed to. Okay, but when we resist what the universe is doing and unfolding, then we confront it and we don't accept the universe as it dishes it out. And then we become a resistor, an obstacle, and a plug, a block for the universe. So the universe doesn't want to have you get in the way. The universe wants you to do the dance with the universe. Don't get in the way of what the universe wants to give to you. Okay, but the universe is listening. So it's not like the universe is just going to bring you all sorts of things here that's, you're having to just bend for the will of the universe and nothing manifests. It's like the universe is going to unfold, but you have the power to make decisions as the universe unfolds to manifest towards you the things you actually want to experience and not. Because remember, the universe is all abundant all at once. It's already happening. Okay? It's already happening. What you want is already yours. But if we start getting in the way, then we don't see this part. Okay, so let's take a look at your tarot then and see what the divine wants to communicate to you, pile number 1. Spirit, beautiful message for pile number 1. What is it pile 1 is needing to know then about what they're healing here, or what it is that they're working through in this new way of dancing with the universe, this enlightened journey? What is it that pile 1 is needing to know? Anything I've missed, please protect me and the viewer as I channel this message for the greatest and highest good of pile 1. Thank you so much, pile 1, for allowing me to tap into your energy, the energy around you at this time. I'm so blessed to be here doing your reading. And like I mentioned in the intro, if you guys are interested in 15% off, I am running a special on my website, prairievintagejewelry.com. For 15% off of all your readings, jewelry, if you enter One Love 15 at the checkout, like on my finger, then you'll get that discount, okay, if you're interested. Queen of Cups in reverse. That's this dolphin energy. Cancer, Scorpio, Pisces. Chariot. Cancer energy. I'm going to have 6 pentacles, 2 swords in reverse, Knight of Swords, 2 of Wands in reverse, 6 Wands, and the Ace of Cups. What's under this? Strength, Leo. Okay, just give me a second here. Okay, so you're getting frustrated because you're butting up and resisting what the universe wants to give to you in order for you to move towards the direction of what you say you actually want from the universe. All you have to do is guide the chariot. Okay, you got to keep it upright. We can't get in the way, or else the chariot tips over. If we're too much in one energy, I'm right, I'm right, I'm right. Okay, or completely sort of disregarding what the universe is putting in front, then we tip the chariot. It has to be balanced, meaning we keep control and steer of what we can, but the universe guides the chariot. Okay, so the chariot is going to move however the universe wants it to move. We cannot pull it, and we just have to steer it. Okay, and so we need to know, like, this is all about like control and patience. We can't be, like heading towards one direction or like blinds, like tunnel vision, thinking we have the complete answer. It's like, no, just let the universe unfold, and then with grace, ride through what you need to balance. But this is also facing our fear. And I think the fear we're having is allowing the universe to take control. It's like foreign territory. I've never done it like this before. And so I feel out of control if I let the universe take control. Like, what's the worst thing that's going to happen here? Like, try it. And so I feel like if we don't try it, we don't build that muscle. And we keep falling back in old ways thinking we're a doer. We're not the doer. All we're creating is suffering in our mind, because the universe is going to keep giving us flat tires. It's going to happen. The only thing you're committing to is your attachment to the suffering of when that flat tire happens, and you could change it. Okay, you can change it. And so I feel like Spirit is saying, like, you're giving energy towards something that won't produce anything for you. And where do you want to put your energy? Spirit says, balance your energy, but give to what is going to provide balance to you. The choice is yours, but you might miss the choice to do this if you're too tunneled into an understanding or a doing that limits you. Okay, and so I feel like Spirit wants you to be able to confront what you need to once it's open and once the pathway is, like revealed to you, once things are clear and not confusing, and then the pathway opens. I don't know if you see that in the cloud. Okay, then you can move through without any sort of resistance or obstacles, but the path will be opened by the universe, not by you forcing your will. Okay, but you got to be ready to take action here once the universe makes this pathway. Okay, but I feel like there's a lot here about the ego is at the helm. The understanding you have of what victory looks like is the only sort of eye that you have. Like, this is the only understanding that I have of victory. It's like me getting victory, me seeing it in this way of unfolding. And it's like, no, the universe knows the way to victory. Okay, like victory for you. Not what the universe thinks victory is. It's like victory for you in your situation, the universe knows. You only know of a limited short-term victory here with the Six of Wands, which is getting it through ego, desire. Okay, but as we always talk about with the ego, it only knows two ways of being, and one is to desire and attach, to attain. So it's always in perpetual state of chasing an outcome, happiness. And so it's never happy because it attains that outcome, and then it's on to the next one and on to the next one and on the rat race. Okay, and the other way of the ego is aversion, not wanting to experience. And so we butt up against it. We resist. We don't accept. And so we're not happy. And the more we resist, the more it persists. The more we try to shut it out, the more flat tires we get because we're putting energy towards that in which we don't want. And so when we're in a state of this energy, what it's asking you to do, the nirvana, this observer energy, it's like I'm in the middle and I'm balanced and grounded, just like this chariot, grounded and balanced. Okay, and I'm not swinging on a pendulum of trying to attain and chase an outcome. I'm letting it unfold, and I'm not resisting or fighting what is. I'm just in the middle here. And so as it unfolds, I make decisions, and I don't get all sort of stressed out and lost in the minutia, because that would be my ego. Okay, and that's how I'm going to get victory, not a short victory there, because then I'll just keep living off of ego. Okay, so I feel this situation requires you to open your heart and trust the divine. Okay, and trust your intuition. Like, I feel like your intuition, your heart space, and there's a deeper knowing here. There's a trust, there's a love, and I feel like it's blocked because I feel like we're letting our emotions sort of do the talking for us based on what our mind is telling the emotions. But if our mind is contaminated, then the mind is giving false instruction. Okay, and I'll say this again. If I have an unpure thought based on an experience, then I believe that thought to be true. And it is true relatively based on my experience. Okay, but it's not the truth of the universe. It's just the truth that I held. And so if I believe that thought and I identify with that thought, it was my experience, I do believe it to be true, and it's very true for me. Now I charge that up, and now my feelings are pushed towards that, validating that. And now I'm taking action based on those feelings. Okay, but if I saw that past experience as sort of a cloud passing, just like any form, it comes and it goes. Just like a thought comes and it goes. Okay, just like life, it comes and it goes. Okay, that's all temporary, transient energy of form. Okay, that's feminine energy. It comes and it goes. We don't attach to it. And so I had an experience where it sucked, and the flat tire, the loss, the heartache, whatever I experienced, the separation, the letdown, the disappointment in the past, and then it left. And now here comes another experience. Now, this experience that we have, we don't charge it with the same emotion, because now we're reacting from the past experience with those emotions. Okay, and so we're never to take action based on our emotions. The emotion never speaks to the current situation. The emotions are always reflecting our current state of mind, always. Okay, and so emotions don't lie. It's not like your emotions are wrong. Emotions are always accurate based on our mindset. And so if our mindset is making up stories and attached to past experiences, then the emotions are going to be very charged. So what is this emotion saying about this situation? Nothing. Okay, and this and that are true. Meaning you decide in this moment, are you going to heavily charge it with the past story and make it true? Because you can. And so you can infuse this current situation with a bunch of pain and a bunch of story. Or the other option, which is also equally true, is let go of what has happened and deal with the situation as a now situation, void of any charged emotions that you experienced in the past, because you're infusing some form of judgment in this situation. Okay, so I feel like this situation calls for love. And this is the most loving thing you can do for yourself, because you're liberating yourself, you're freeing yourself, you're transforming how you engage in situations, and you're learning to surrender to the universe. You're not saying, I'm the doer, I know more. Okay, trust. That's going to require you to lean into your situation here without fear and be courageous, because we're always courageous when we choose to let the universe do what it does. It's going to do it anyway, but it's courageous to take our foot off the ego and say, you know what, the universe is going to do it anyway. I might as well not suffer here. I might as well not stress out. I might as well experience this moment exactly as the universe intended, without contaminating it with my fear and my own thought story and my past experience and all of these judgments. Now I'm in the truest form of expression. Okay, not a past version of me, and I'm not responding to a past experience. So let's see, guidance, final guidance here for beautiful pile number 1. What is this advice, guidance that's going to help them in this situation? So really, at the end of the day, Spirit is guiding you through this situation that you want to manifest, saying it's okay, let it unfold, don't attach. Don't let the fear get in your way. Don't let past experience dictate your emotions here, because the more you do this, the more you're not manifesting what you want, and the more prolonged you are in a state of resistance, because I feel like there's a situation that's resisting or not moving forward, because we're blocking it energetically with, I don't know, fears of the past or understandings we have that we think are still valid, which could be true, but it could also be false if we start to see things differently. It's just a passing cloud. It no longer haunts us. Unconditional love. So we talked about, I said, your situation requires you to be loving, compassion, to show unconditional love. Okay, so unconditional love. Today I choose to see the light in everyone. I seek the divine in each being, and I accept others as they are. I don't make judgment. I don't infuse it with past situations. Okay, even if this person did something to me, past flat tire, don't care. Okay. So I accept others as they are. I bring compassion to all my brothers and sisters of the light. I offer unconditional love to everyone I meet. I join my soul with theirs so that we may grow together in universal love. Wow, beautiful. So we have to generate the love we want to experience. Okay, only that in which we're not giving could ever be lacking. So if I am not experiencing a loving situation, it's because I'm not giving unconditional love myself. If I'm experiencing resistance, it's because I'm putting resistance. If I feel a situation is not unconditionally loving, it's because I'm passing a judgment. Okay, so it's all stemming from within. I welcome life as it presents itself to me. Today I take each step on my path to fulfillment with good faith. I swim easily with the flow of life. I embrace all experiences the universe bestows on me, even the flat tires, even those that may prove challenging. Yes, I know all will fall into place for my greater good. So yes, this is learning to trust that the divine's going to unfold, and I don't need to suffer as I get to these situations. Okay, but look at the steps to ascension, which is really giving me this. Like I was saying, this is enlightenment. This is like allowing ourselves to be more ascended in our perspective of how we deal with situations, especially ones that we would normally judge as challenging. Okay, normally I would judge it as challenging, but by doing that, by choosing that, I actively choose that it's challenging and say that it's true. And now the whole course of action and outcome ends up backing up my belief in this. But the minute I choose to say it's not going to bring me down, or it's just going to be an experience, okay, this challenge is just an experience. Now I switch my energy field, and now I'm more ascended in my perspective of how I engage with the universe. And I could see clearer in the moment because I'm not lost in my thought. You know, like I said, now we're on the bus. We're still conscious. We're awake. We're able to dance with the universe. And now we could see clearly, and we're not charged with emotions that are infused from past situations. Goodness. I refine my character and overcome difficulties by remaining positive. I calm my heart and illuminate my intellect to transform shadow into light. I consciously manifest, which is the whole reading. Goodness in and around me. I improve my qualities for the benefit of all. So the green ray is unconditional love, because that's your heart chakra. And this is totally key here. I consciously manifest goodness in and around me. You're the one consciously manifesting. Okay, like I said, the magician has the tools to manifest what you want to see, but you have to know how to utilize those tools. And I feel like up until now, you're very limited with how you utilize your tool, because I feel you're not knowing how to manifest when something challenging happens. You keep defaulting to your old way of being. Don't do that. Okay, only, of course, if you want to succeed with the universe. Only, of course, if you don't want to suffer. If you want to suffer and cry over your situation, you could do that. But all you're creating is more resistance. Okay, so you want to improve the quality of your life. You want to improve the stress. You want to reach a state of nirvana. Okay, samadhi, peace. You want to become more enlightened. You want a higher state of consciousness. You want to experience unconditional love coming to you. Then this is what you do. Okay, inner strength. Nothing moves me from my path to the light, because I have complete confidence in myself. I realize my innate qualities and abilities to know that with God, I can do anything. All the power I need is within me. So, remember I said not to be a doer. When we're a doer, it's like the I removed from God, or separate. And without God, we do nothing. We are nothing. Only through God can we be something. Only through the divine can we truly, truly be flowing in the moment of what's supposed to be happening. The separate I, cannot do anything except for get in the way and create obstacles and suffering. Okay, so the universe is asking you to drop the little I, the separate I, the one that thinks it's doing, and go into the inner strength. And that's where we sit with the divine. The divine isn't an external being or entity or deity that's sitting up in the cloud somewhere. Okay, the divine God is within you. And when you connect to a higher state of consciousness, the Christ consciousness within you, you are the extension of God unfolding in your world. But you got to get the little I out of the way, and the little I is the ego. The little I is the I that thinks it's going to have success doing the same thing it always does. No, you don't know better than the godly power that's within you. So within you is the choice to surrender, the choice to choose different, the choice to be very aware and conscious of your emotions in this moment. What are you feeding? What are you driving? What is your thought right now? Are you feeding the same pattern? Are you aware that this situation is in this present moment, has nothing to do with the past? Are you trusting the universe enough for you to just flow, be open and not resist, and accept the situation as it is for right now, without falling back with that mind story that, oh, this sucks, or see it's happening again, this experience that I don't want. You're the one in control of that. Okay, so you want to guide it in a different course. And every time the universe keeps doing whatever it does to you, take that and utilize that as fuel to move forward in whatever direction you want. And keep doing this. And finally, You'll start to convince the mind. You'll start to convince the little I to get on board. It won't get in the way no more. It knows that the way of the universe is the better way. It knows that through unconditional love is the better way. Okay? Unconditional love is the better way. Judgment creates suffering and resistance. Okay? So this is your reading, pile 1. I hope this helped you, and I will see you at the next one. All right. Bye-bye. Hello, gorgeous angels. Pile number 2. Can't wait to get into your reading. We're going to tap into your energy check. Before I tap into that, this reading is going to be all about what you might be dealing with in regards to your energy or energy around you, situation, people, whatever comes through here. But it's what you're needing to understand or maybe see differently or engage differently in order for you to overcome, heal, work through whatever it is that you're needing to overcome. Okay, so you guys pick card 56 with the wall and the obstacles, which I'll hold up here for you guys. Okay, and the 3 charms. So we have the dolphin, and that came out in an oracle card for pile 1. If you were drawn to it, there could be a message there. We have the owl, and we have the little girl with the ponytail. Okay, we'll get into this energy. And if you're working on tapping into and tuning your intuition, then I do ask you guys sit through this card layout process, okay? Because it could become more clear what the messaging is once we lay out all the cards to get your messaging across, all right? But let's do this energy check to see if this does resonate for you guys before we begin. So what is this wall obstacles about? This is like the universe sort of puts up divine protection, okay? And what we might perceive as an obstacle sometimes is needed. So things might feel very not good because we're experiencing something as being stuck, or something got removed, or a situation just took a different course, like a detour. And it's like, shit, like there's a roadblock up here, you know, like when we're, I don't know, like going in the car and then the road's blocked and we have to go a different way. But had we not gone that way, we wouldn't have experienced all the things that we experience on that road. And sometimes the journey could be, you know, a blessing in disguise. And sometimes it could be painful going down that detour. But it was all for a reason. And when we get to the end journey or the end goal, then we look back and we say, oh, had I not had that detour or that roadblock, I would have never experienced this, that, and the other. So I feel like you're experiencing something right now that, given a choice, you probably wouldn't have chosen for yourself. It's not going the way you want it. And it could be going opposite of what you expected or desiring here. Okay, now the dolphin's all about compassion and love. Okay, I see 1 dolphin, so we might feel like by ourselves or let down when it comes to maybe love, or we're having to show ourselves compassion. Okay, and I feel like maybe this detour is in order to give us an ability to learn about our own self-love, to be there for ourselves. And so the universe might have pulled people, support from around us, and we say, well, the universe is just so cruel. Why would God remove people from me? And it's like, no, what the universe is doing is teaching you about self-love. Okay, and the only way for us to learn is to go through experience, or else we get hung up and stuck in similar patterns and unhealthy ways of attaching external to people and situations. So when things happen naturally and people get removed or situations change, we're not attached. Okay, we're able to love ourselves. We're able to fill our own cup. We're able to stand on our own. We're able to give us love and choose ourselves. Okay, but only through experience does it become an understanding. Okay, we can't read that in a book. We can't read, you know, about self-love. We can't conceptually just be told, choose self. It's like, okay, but how do I feel that? Well, you got to go through the experience. You got to have this inner wisdom in order for you to know what it feels like, cultivated from within. And the only way is to go through this sort of side journey, or this deviated way that the universe is trying to guide you. Okay, but I feel like with this girl, this could be divine feminine energy. And divine feminine is receptive. It's all about being open to emotions, giving and receiving love from a state of allowing. Okay, it's opposite of masculine, where the masculine energy is doing. There's order, there's control, there's mental activity, whereas feminine is all about receptivity, is working with our emotions, trusting the divine, maybe trusting our own intuition, having to be led by feelings. And so it's scary when we're led by feelings, because we're always told, well, your feelings could lead you astray, and don't listen to your feelings, and you could be over emotional and all that sort of nonsense. But what Spirit wants to show you is how to use your feelings and your intuition to guide you in the proper way. And when I say proper, it's like supporting love and compassion. Okay, so if our thoughts are contaminated, and you might want to go watch one because this did pull through one, but if our thoughts are contaminated, meaning we have poisonous thoughts, past experiences now make me think in a certain way, I have a certain understanding conceptually, these are all my thoughts. Now my feelings charge those thoughts, because feelings are always a mirror of your thoughts. Okay, the feelings are always a mirror of your thoughts. The feelings are never a reflection of your current set of situation or circumstances, ever. It's just the thought you have in that moment. And so the minute your feelings are online, it's already mirroring back to you your thoughts. It's like, oh, the feelings are online. What is it telling you about your thought? If these feelings are feeling open, receptive, expanding, expansive, then that means your thoughts are most likely in line with the universe. There's truth. Okay, but if your feelings are feeling restricted, separation, loss, lack, jealousy, envy, guilt, shame, anger, resentment, whatever that lack, constructing feeling, then that means the thought is in line with something that isn't true. It's based on an illusion. The illusion of, I am separate from the universe. I lack something. I'm not whole and complete. There is more out there. I don't have self-love. Okay, those are all untrue things. We might have experienced something like this and made it to be true, but it's just a relative truth based on that experience. It has nothing to do with you being whole and complete. And so we're needing to understand when our emotions are online and what's telling us about our thoughts. Okay, but I feel like this block, this obstacle, we didn't get what we wanted, we were deviated or pulled from something, we feel separate, we feel alone, is all about, I feel, unconditional love, learning about self-love. Okay, so 56 is number 11. 11 is a master number, which is divine inspiration, the synchronicities, and encouragement to keep going. I feel like we might need encouragement to keep going because our spirits are down. We just encountered an obstacle, and we might have been on this detour for a while, feeling alone or still not getting it or still having to go through an experience that it might not be pleasant. Okay, let's take a look. So we have gratitude. Beautiful. So gratitude is being very grateful for what is and accepting what is. And the more gratitude we feel for what is, the more acceptance we have for what is, the more things flow. The more resistance we have, the more we don't like what's going on, and then we're challenging the universe, the more suffering we create. So we have to see what's happening as it is and accept it with a feeling of gratitude. Okay, now this doesn't mean I'm lying to myself and saying all this shitty stuff that's happening to me is perfect and I love it and it's great. No. It's saying what is good about this moment, because there's always something that's good in this moment. And so love is always present in a situation. Whether you see it or not is going to be up to you. It's always present. Okay, there's always a loving thought, a loving aspect to whatever you're going through. Always, it's always present. And so that's what Spirit wants you to show gratitude for. Or you could focus on the thing that isn't good or the thing that is not what you want. Okay, now that changes the energy. So it's all about how you perceive it with all this rainbow stuff. Okay, we could perceive it however we want. We're free to use our free will to do this. But then we expect to, if we are looking at something from a more negative perspective, then we're going to experience more negative emotions. So, ant spirits, time to collaborate. Card number 1 is all about new beginnings, potential opportunities, Fool energy and Magician energy. So it's manifesting this a new beginning, and it's sort of coming unbaggaged here. But 2 ants work together. So there might be a need to collaborate here, or a desire to collaborate, but we feel alone. 47, pig spirit, use your mind wisely. So pigs with wings could be, like seeing something as never happening. Like when pigs grow wings, it's never going to happen. But then how are we using our mind? Because the mind is going to create the reality. So if we tell ourselves something is true, then it becomes the truth that we start to believe. So where's our mind? And look we have another 11, right? So now we have 1111. Okay, and 1111 is a very spiritual number. Some of you guys might resonate with the twin flame journey, okay? And that 1111 pulls through as a soul connection. So we have elephant spirit, learn from the past. 25, or the number 7. 7's about faith, wisdom, reflection, understanding. 7 is chariot energy, which is about balance, integrating shadow. Cancer energy, working with the divine. But the elephant energy is all about past situations that might be in our mind, And so we're stuck, or the obstacle is the past situation that replays in my mind that I can't forget, person, place, thing that I experienced. And so the owl's talking about learning from the past, because it's all about the wisdom and the experience, so that we can have a different sort of experience now in the present, but we can experience the exact same thing again if we come in with the same sort of mindset. Elephant can talk about an obstacle. The elephant in the room. Let it go. 24. Or the number 6. 6 is lovers. A choice. Gemini energy. Destined path. Destined choice. Let it go. So if we have a person, place, thing of the past that's haunting us, it might be time for us to part with that memory or that experience. Synergy, 41. This is synergy. 2 ants working together create synergy. The frequency of synergy supports our allowance and acceptance of not so obvious, never seen before combinations and unions that result in new ways of functioning, working, thinking, relating, loving, and being. It reminds us to embrace the unfamiliar so that new yet exciting co-creation can give birth to a new reality. Yeah, so if we come with preconceived injections of the past, and we're projecting into this current situation, then we're not experiencing anything new. We're just repeating. We're repeating what it is that we think we're going to see, and then we see it. Pivot. Sometimes when things aren't falling into place after trying and trying, it's time to ask yourself if pivoting in some way would be a good idea so that your life can flow more easily and effortlessly. How can you pivot even just a little bit? Honesty. I can't always expect the truth from others, but I can expect it from myself. And surrender to setting limits. It is healthy to set boundaries in relationships. Practice expressing your needs, and remember that no is a complete sentence. So we have the sign of Scorpio. Purification to resurrect. The secrets of and resulting from the power of. Interesting. And we have 2 with yin. It's funny because pile 1 had yang, I'm pretty sure. So this is the feminine energy. And 2 is all about balance, which we were getting with the chariot. Okay, duality, and choices, which we were getting with the lover's choices. 2 is also high priestess, intuition. Being guided by the emotion navigating system that we were talking about. Could be high priestess. And the yin is this feminine energy, reception to emotions and allowing things to flow by the book. So this is Hierophant energy, Taurus energy, and look, another 11. Lots of 11s, divine inspiration, synchronicities, and encouragement to keep going. You guys might be very tired and frustrated on your journey here. So what's by the book? Hierophant energy could be, towing the line and doing what we were conditioned, or what our upbringing, what our beliefs might be socially or traditionally, culturally. I'm going to have to break convention here. 31, Venus, Jupiter. And then number 4. 4 is Emperor energy, structure, foundation, stability, planning. Venus is Taurus, Libra energy. It could be about ego because it's all about, beauty and looks, but it's about love, maybe how love is perceived on the outside. And then Jupiter is big energy. That's about fate. And Jupiter is a ruling planet for Sagittarius and Pisces. So it could be like these big extremes when it comes to, I don't know, like abundance of how we love, but we might need to get grounded. We might need to get realistic here. And when I say realistic, it's like being in the present moment to what is, and not setting any sort of expectation, but understanding reality of a situation. Okay, so we have the 8th house with mystery. Yeah, the 8th house is all about intimacy. It could be about joint ventures, partners, resources, goals, property, taxes, finances, shared finances, merging. Mystery. And I'm getting more Scorpio energy, 46. That's number 10. Okay. So is that in frame? There we go. Let me sit here to channel this energy for you guys. You guys can skip ahead. I'm going to read this Venus, Jupiter. I think more is going to become clear when we do the tarot, because there's some parts I'm not fully understanding just yet. Okay, so what does it say? It says conjunct, sextile, and trine. In the primitive state, you tend toward extravagant grandiosity and self-congratulation. Adaptive, your optimism is unbridled and contagious, and evolving, your endless generosity and consideration of others serve to up-level shining love. Okay, and then in conjunct, opposition, square, and primitive, you're caught up in overreaching, overbuying, and general overindulgence. In adaptive, you hold a great appreciation for life's true meaning and demonstrate untarnished values. Evolving, you walk with extraordinary presence and captivating worldliness. Okay. Interesting. Yeah, it might become more clear as we do the tarot. So what's happening here? This is more of a thing that we can't control what other people sort of do or what's going on with other people, and it could be very frustrating because we could do everything right. And when I say right, it's like our intentions could be in line with the truth of the divine. We could be checking off everything we need to check off, having very good intention. and things still go horribly, horribly sideways because we can't control anyone else's journey or what anyone else does. And so as life unfolds, the way that it unfolds, it could be really shitty. It could be really shitty because we might have high expectations to engage in like the best possible outcome. And I feel like whatever hand you were dealt here, I feel like has been a shitty hand, okay? But I feel like it's a shitty hand in order to come out with a greater purpose and lesson here that's greater than what you would have got had you got what you wanted in the first place. Okay, and what that means is that the ends don't justify the means here. That whatever you're going, okay, wherever you're headed, based on this thing not working out or it's not working fluidly, you're going to experience something here that is very beneficial. And so have gratitude, show your appreciation to the divine in this beautiful experience. Do not stay stuck forcing or butting your head up against something here that hasn't clicked or flowed. All you can do is be receptive, show love, show compassion, and allow a situation to be sort of as it unfolds, including anyone that might not be, like working with you or resisting or fighting or not reflecting back to you. Maybe an energy here that, I don't know, like was expected here, but it got diverted. Okay, I feel like you were diverted in a situation here by no doing of your own. You didn't do anything wrong. Okay, but I feel like there's a bigger purpose here to create some bigger meaning. But we can't get hung up on what didn't work. And so I feel like wherever this obstacle happened, whatever got off track, we could get stuck in focusing on that part that got stuck, the part that's not moving, the part that didn't get created, and Spirit saying, don't do that. Start to focus on what is working. Start to trust that the universe is unfolding something greater than this. You have to let go of what didn't work. The minute we do this, the minute we start to believe that things can change and shift, okay, but we have to trust that only we can control our own sort of energy here. There's nothing external that's going to come from anyone or anything that's going to, like shift our own inner world. Only we can create our own inner world. Okay, because I feel like you had an understanding based on a set of rules, like a rule book, or if I do this and that and this and that, this is going to be the outcome, or this is what's going to happen. And I think in any other terms or experience, it would have, except this is a rare sort of situation or circumstance in which the universe intervened or interjected in order for there to be greater purpose. And so don't start to change that rule book. Okay, so let's say you're giving, loving, and compassionate, and you got taken advantage of. Let's just say, for example, we don't say, okay, now I'm always going to be on guard and use that experience to change me and not be loving, compassionate, and kind. Like see what's happened here. There's a need to pull the said experiences from what's happened, not be in denial, not say, oh, it never happened. Okay, so we accept what's happened, but we don't carry the weight of what's happened here as us doing anything wrong or us being the reason it happened. And this will allow us to work with the situation in order for us to create and manifest something here. But I feel like we can only be responsible for ourselves. Wherever, because this story I feel is not over. Okay, and I don't know, a lot of you guys is working with someone to create something. And this something is to be created, but it can't be created by one person. And so I feel like the whole purpose is coming together, but you're only a part of the puzzle. The other part of the puzzle is the other person, and the other part is how the universe is sort of divinely intervening. But we can't control the universe, and we can't control the other person. The only thing we can sort of control as our own response to what's going on. And so I feel like Spirit's really saying, control your response right now, child. Do not get sidetracked. Do not start seeing this creation as something that's never going to be. Do not start falling victim. Do not start doing anything other than letting go of a shitty situation or whatever it was that you experienced as something that wasn't good, but getting back on. And what you're getting back on is your loving, compassionate self that's receptive and open to work with the universe to flow. Because where you're flowing is to create something absolutely beautiful. That's your part of carrying that transaction or that piece of that experience, that journey. Okay, but you can only carry your ball or your part or your half. You can't carry anyone else's or do anything other than being yourself. So I feel like this is going to take a lot of honesty to say, I can only do my piece. I can't take on more than I can chew or carry anyone else's burden. I can't overstretch myself. Okay, that's not natural and it's not good. Okay, so I feel like there's a learning to balance, and it's like what you're capable of doing and giving, and when things don't go well or as they seem, to let it go and to show gratitude for what is working. That's true receptive energy. You know, letting the universe sort of unfold, not feeling a need to control or change it, and not falling into victim and mindset and getting stuck in what we experience and then projecting it into the situation and making it worse. Okay, so I feel like there's a need to really get grounded in the present moment and a need to sort of allow other people to take accountability and responsibility without micromanaging or checking in if they are or aren't. That's up to them. That has nothing to do with you. Okay, but you could sit there sort of in a nine swords energy with your mind, having a lot of anxiety about how this person might do that or how the situation might unfold or whether the universe is going to do this, and that's all burn and turn. You know, what's not going to happen, what didn't happen, what should have happened, like that's all burn and turn. And that energy creates friction, and that energy creates noise that remains in past challenge. And Spirit says, let that go. The only thing that exists right now is in the present moment. And in the present moment, we could be ready to collaborate to create the synergy. We have to be in the right temperance energy to create synergy. We can't be in friction energy. Okay, and so the way we get out of friction is to let go and to only see what we could be grateful for. Okay, so that's what we're learning. And we might have to be, you know, thinking on our feet, like something didn't go well, so now I got to sort of change my energy, the name of the game. I can't sit here and dwell or sit here and, you know, try to butt up against something that didn't work. I accept if something didn't work, I release it and I give it off to the universe and send it on its way. Okay, I don't stay stuck here forever trying to change it to be something that it's not. I accept the block as divine protection for now and carry on my way. So let's see, because I do feel I'm missing something. Spirit, for pile number 2, what is this message in regards to what pile 2 is needing to know about their path, their situation, their healing, their ascension? What is it that they might not be seeing or needing to know or understand in order for them to have progress? Thank you so much, Spirits. Please protect me and the viewer as I channel this message for the greatest and highest good of pile number 2. Thank you so much, pile 2, for allowing me to tap into your energy, the energy around you at this time. I'm so blessed to be here doing your reading. Spirit, what does pile 2 need to know about what they're not seeing or their energy here? Can we dive in a little deeper? Anything I've missed? Anything they need to know about their current states? So we have 4 swords. It's all about reflection, healing, taking a rest, a break, to recuperate, to reflect, time out. Ace of Wands, That's the opposite of that, because that's inspired action. That's getting the urge to take action. The Fool in reverse, Aquarius energy. New beginning. Why is this 4 Wands here, spirits? The Sun in reverse, a Leo energy. Why is this Ace of Wands here, spirits? This Ace of Wands. Ace of Wands is masculine energy. 6 of Cups in reverse. That's that elephant energy. Person, place, thing of the past that might be stuck. And why is this Fool here in reverse? The Tower in reverse. And 5 Wands. Under that, we have 7 Pentacles in reverse. Okay. Okay. So I might not have done a very good job with my analogies, but I think I might have one that might make sense. I experienced shit. Okay, I experienced crap. Whatever you experienced wasn't good. Now I keep replaying what I experienced. That thing in which I experienced is replaying in my mind and it's stuck. We got to let it go. Okay, now easier said than done. How do I let it go? Know that this present moment and your success and what you can experience has everything to do with your dedication, your devotion, and your commitment to letting go of an experience by your understanding of this present experience. You have to understand this present experience for what it is in order to let go of the past. Okay, and I feel like this present moment is going to be impacted heavily by how you engage. So if you don't want to contaminate this present situation or the manifestation of the synergy of working with someone or creating with someone, then you have to give attention to what's going on here. And what's going on here requires you to let go of the past as an experience that is blocking your clarity, blocking your happiness, blocking you from seeing what it is here that the universe wants to give forward to you. Okay, so I feel like Spirit is saying we have to allow any sort of passing energies that we can't build upon. So we're feeling frustrated or we're feeling anxious about whatever it is, whatever doesn't feel good. Okay, we're having to allow that to fall away. We're not being called to feed that energy because it won't produce fruit. It just produces more friction, like we were talking about. And I think you want to produce fruit. You want synergy. You want to create, collaborate, work together. Okay, so we have to keep going back to that mind story of what I'm thinking of right now is not in my greatest good. It's not going to help. Okay, so every time it creeps in there with the past story or the past thing, it's like, no, this energy is not going to get me the fruit I want. It's not going to get me the fruit I want. So Spirit wants you to know that as long as you're in that energy of the past situation holding you hostage, you cannot go into the new. It's taking up space. It's taking up airtime. It's vibrating on a frequency of energy that won't allow for the new, because the new requires you to be baggage free. The new requires you to release the past. The new requires you to risk it all and jump forward. Okay, and trust the divine and have a new experience. And this is beautiful energy of new, fresh, exciting. Okay, but it could be scary to risk it all when we keep talking and thinking about the past, but we're just projecting more of that past pain and that past experience. And so we're not experiencing anything new. We're just replaying an old record. Okay, so Spirit's saying there's new that you can experience here. And I think you want to experience it. Okay, like you're pulled towards it with this Ace of Wands. This is passion. This is excitement. This is a want to experience something new. But then we keep getting in our own way, because then we let the old story come and then we don't take the chance or we don't experience the new. And it's like, I really want to, but I can't. Okay, that's what you're doing with your energy. Or I really want to, but why am I held back by this obstacle? It's because you're building on some shaky story, some mind story here that needs to be let go of. And I feel like this is what's conflicting. This is what creates all sorts of resistance here to what's happening, and limits your manifestation and the fruit. It limits the synergy of working with someone. So I feel like you might be really in your mind about strategizing, and this requires no strategy. If you're strategizing in your situation, you're not coming in as a fool. You're coming in with a strategy of a game plan to a past game that is no longer being played. So it's like I'm showing up at a chess game, but the only rules of the game I know is checkers. And so I've never played chess before, and the universe is unfolding this chess in front of me, but I'm so hung up on the checker game. And so I come to this new game with my chess understanding. And it's like, it's not serving a purpose here. It has no welcome here. It does nothing here except for make you lose, and it doesn't allow you to even experience the chess. So right now, the universe is unfolding a new thing for you to experience that would require you to be baggage-free and trusting and experience this beautiful, fresh thing that I feel you want. Okay, but it's just sort of sitting as a spark. But the old story starts creeping in here, the chess player saying, oh, it's never happened, or it can't happen, or this is what's happened in the past, and I can't, whatever. Like, I don't know what the mind story is. That has to close out with this world. Okay, we have to put that behind us in order for us to have a new beginning. The world is all about closing cycles successfully in order for new ones to begin. We can't create a new one. Okay, this is the complete major arcana from the Fool to the World. The Fool goes on a whole journey, ups, downs, lefts, rights, to have an experience. Okay, the school of life. But if the Fool stays in reverse, it never goes through any experience. And so I feel like the universe wants to bring you through an experience here that will be successful. This is success. Okay, but we have to make space for the new. And to make space for the new, we got to get rid of the old. And the old is taking up airplay. And it's not creating what we want or manifesting the synergy. And the synergy requires you to work with someone, I feel. And we're not, I don't know, we're not available, or we're just not carrying our own weight, or we're stuck in some obstacle. Okay, now I feel like I've just blended two energies together. This could be you and someone with you, someone around you. Okay, but I feel like this is going to take two people to toe the line. And so let's see what Spirit wants to give you in way of advice then. Spirit, what is the guidance and advice then for pile 2? Is there anything pile 2 can do here to help this situation or the circumstance? Guidance for pile 2, please. Thank you so much. And from this pack as well, guidance for pile number 2. What can they do? Okay. Goodness. I refine my character and overcome difficulties by remaining positive. I calm my heart and illuminate my intellect to transform shadow into light. I consciously manifest goodness in and around me. I improve my qualities for the benefit of all. So the green ray is the heart chakra, and this is transmuting shadow into light. So whatever I experienced in the past, I take it and I turn it into light. I don't sit there and dwell in what didn't and what couldn't and what won't. I take what didn't, what couldn't, and what wouldn't into an energy that will. I have that ability to do this. Okay, at any moment, I could choose this. So it's my choice which way I want it to fall. But I have to be aware of what I'm doing. That's conscious manifestation. Okay, faith. I am confident I will achieve my goals. I live in the present and have faith in the future. I firmly believe in my value within the universe. So what does this mean? I don't let the past contaminate the now, because if I do this, it will impact my future. And my future is based on what I do right here, right now. So we got to be in the present, always in the present. Okay, more blue, which is about self-expression. So we got to express ourselves. So it's healthy to set boundaries in relationships. Practice expressing your needs and remember that no is a complete sentence. So I feel like we might have a boundary where we might be too shut out. It might be too restricting because we might not know where our line is and how to dance with others. So we need to know where our boundary is and how we're engaged. Are we pushing people out? Okay, peace. I am unwavering in the face of fear. I come to my senses and embrace challenge. I am determined to think with gentleness and calm. I find inner silence and become a manifestation of peace. That's beautiful. Look at all these colors of the chakras. You're like arranging it this way. Joy. Like a child, I discover joy in the simplicity of life. Happiness lies in magical moments, not in the material. Even the smallest joy is a great source of light. So this is this gratitude, seeing the joy in every situation. We could choose love because it's always present and available. Same with joy. There's always joy to be had in every moment. We just got to see it. And after we make an effort of seeing it, it becomes natural that we always see the joy. But we have to make a conscious effort of this, okay? Attaining peace. Today, I turn within to find the source of my experiences. There, I find the peace that comes from seeking truth. I understand that the riches I discover within myself have a greater value than all the wealth of the outside world. Step by step, I continue my spiritual quest. Little by little, I free myself, rising ever higher and attaining true inner peace. There might be a heaviness weighed on some material thing here. You might have a material understanding or an understanding of a material belief that there's something that might be missing or lacking or that you need. And it's like, come to peace with the fact that you have everything you need to be successful. The fool has everything he needs to be successful as he is. So maybe you're seeing a situation as like pigs grow wings. It's never going to happen because I need this, that, and the other. And Spirit is saying, no, you don't need any of that stuff at all. You can find peace in that moment by relinquishing any story you have, because in the past, maybe you thought you needed to be a certain way or have a certain material thing, and you don't. Openness. I know when one door closes, another opens. Today, I trust the universe. I trust myself and I trust life. No matter what has gone before, I have faith that something better is on its way. My willingness to release the past prepares me to accept many new opportunities. God opens before me. So that's that elephant experience. And don't let it impact what you do in the here and now, because we keep replaying that fear of what could happen now, and we're detoured. And so now we're going down this other path. And Spirit is saying, trust this other path, trust this detour, trust that the divine has your back. Be open to where this detour is taking you. No matter what happened in the past, it has nothing to do with what's happening right here, right now. But we have to be open to receive. The inner alchemist. Like an alchemist, I possess all the power I need to build a life of joy and harmony. Today, through my positive thoughts, words, and deeds, I create my own light. I understand that I can use my inner magic of intention to transform myself in the same way an alchemist transforms lead into gold. Today I create happiness. So you are the master magician here, okay? Creating your own reality here. So you guys might be pulled to pile one as well, because that's all about, cultivating your inner alchemist, your inner magician to manifest happiness. And so the message here is very clear. You're letting the past dictate your present moment, and only you're doing this, not the divine. You didn't experience suffering and all that stuff in order for you to still experience suffering. You experienced all that for you to gain some wisdom and for you now to choose in the moment love, choose gratitude, choose joy, choose peace, okay? Choose to trust the divine, choose to be open, choose to be innocent. All those choices are yours in this moment. Okay, and then you can create, and then you're showing up, and then you can work with others, and then you're picking up your own ball. Okay, your own ball, meaning you're part of the puzzle or you're a piece. You're showing up at the chess game or the checker game, the chess without your checkerboard. Oh, long day. So, beautiful angel, I hope this helped you guys. I love you very much. If you're drawn to another pile, I will see you there. Okay, bye-bye. Wowzers, pile number 3. You guys picked card 19, Falling Angel, Spiritual Narcolepsy. How powerful is that? 19 is sun energy, which was the first thing I saw when I saw this card was the sun. And the sun is beautiful energy. It's my favorite in the tarot because it's clarity and it's joy and certainty. It reminds me of a summer day and all is seen and understood and the whole day's ahead. Sun could represent enlightenment, and I feel for you guys it's representing enlightenment. Okay, but we use spiritual terms, when we hear it, and so we become sort of numb or asleep to what they mean. And enlightenment is just a fancy way of saying awareness. It's now in the light. And so when something's in the light, we become conscious of it. Okay, it's no longer in the shadow. It's no longer in the subconscious. So the more awareness we have, the more broad level of consciousness. And so the more awakened we are, we can make more informed sort of decisions and we can manifest differently. And so we're more expansive rather than being limited. Okay, so we're going to get into what this energy is. I kind of started to channel there, but let's get into what this reading's about. We're looking at what's going on in your situation here of ascension. Maybe you're stuck. Maybe you're not seeing something. Maybe there is something here you're needing to understand differently in order for you to overcome and move forward. Okay, move forward in your healing, move forward in your ascension, or just to deal with. And maybe you're just needing to understand it differently. Okay, so we have pre-shuffled oracle cards. I asked that exact question, is what does pile 3 needs to know or see differently in order for them to have movement and success in their ascension or their journey? So before we get into this, I do suggest that if this energy check kind of resonates, but not fully, that you sit throughout this card layout to see if your intuition taps into mine, so that you know whether this reading is for you, okay? Because sometimes it becomes clear when we do the full channel, all right? But if you want to go straight away to your reading, you can go straight away to that. So let's tune into what we were picking up here. Card 19, Fallen Angel, Spiritual Narcolepsy. We have the ring, the salamander or the lizard, the ladder, and the book. And the book says, Once Upon a Time, and it's a closed book. So you have a lot of energy coming through here. Let's hope I can do justice breaking this down. I feel like there's a situation that you're dealing with, or just your current state of affairs, where there might be a certain vibration, and you can either lower your consciousness, meaning get sucked into the matrix or sucked into other people's sort of drama or what's going on, okay, and let your mind go back into program and condition, or you can stay in an elevated energy, which is just observing how things are unfolding. Stay in a higher state of consciousness, keep the higher vibration, which is difficult to do, especially if we're attached or if we have investment in situations. So I feel like there's a situation that maybe we keep getting invested in, or we have investment already. And I feel like we're being asked to understand when we start to dip back into this sleepy state, okay, when it comes to the spirituality, which is that enlightenment. So it's like I might get pulled back into the dark. And when I'm pulled back into the dark, I start making egoic decisions, okay, because the sun's all about ego. I start to make decisions maybe that aren't for my greatest good, or I start to react out of other intentions or traumas or pain or shadow, rather than seeing something as it is and knowing it too shall pass, or that the truth of a situation might not be exactly as it seems. Okay, because when things are good, they're good. And then when they're bad, we might fall back with the bad. But it's like things are just things. Good, bad, there is no good, bad. It's just things are unfolding. And so if we start to get back into duality, and I say get back because I feel like this is a very highly spiritual group I'm reading for, okay, that might have transcended duality. We might be in a higher state of consciousness, knowing that we are all one. Okay, and so when we see things from this perspective, and we're still human, we're not infallible, we might start to fall back into duality. Okay, so this is a reminder here about where is your energy. Okay, and I feel like with this once upon a time, it's like there's things going on that I feel don't need your involvement so much, but you could keep your finger or your pulse on what's going on. But it feels kind of below you, but it still needs to sort of flesh itself out. And maybe you're involved with it with this once upon a time, but it's like you don't see, you're not privy to seeing inside of this closed book. And the closed book always gives me a high priestess energy. And when it's closed, it's like we're not seeing, but I don't think you're not seeing because you're blind or like you are not listening to your intuition. It's like you're not seeing because it's not your position to see. That's a hidden book. All you're being asked to do here is to stay in a higher state of consciousness. This is how you ascend. The longer you can stay in enlightened energy, in a higher state of consciousness and higher vibration, the more you adapt that energy. And this is a journey of growth and ascension. Okay, and transmuting with the salamander. I feel this is transmuting energies, but also rejuvenating or regenerating certain parts of ourself that we've had to cut off or burn off. The salamander regrows its tail or certain limbs, and it goes through that process, where it has to cut it off in order to rejuvenate or regenerate. So I feel like you're in this process. You have lost nothing. Okay, but we're going through an experience here. And I feel like with this rings talk about commitment. Rings can talk about contracts and official sort of promises and commitments. I feel like Spirit wants you to commit to your ascension. Spirit wants you to commit to a process. Spirit wants you to be unwavering in your devotion and your dedication here to a process that I feel requires you to do the dance of burning what doesn't serve you, regenerating what you need to, and staying in a state of high awareness and consciousness, no matter what you see and don't see, no matter whether your intuition is privy to it or not. Okay, like don't start to doubt, don't start to dip backwards, don't start to fall asleep, don't start to be victim, don't start to doubt. All of that stuff, that's duality, that's lower states of consciousness, that's going back into mind. Okay, so lots pulling through here. Let's take a look at what your messaging is then. So we have one, yes. So I'm getting oneness. Okay, I'm getting like unity consciousness with this one. And we have two hands playing with the sand. And I feel like one is giving and one is receiving. But I feel like it's the same person. But as we know with unity consciousness, we are all one and we are all sort of tied to the same energy of the creator here. And so this is giving me what I put out is what I receive back. Because we are all one. Yeah. So what I put out there is going to come back to me. Even if it's from somewhere else, someone else. Sandpiper spirits, be playful. 51, or the number 6. 6 is lovers, Gemini energy. Be playful. Bobcat spirit, life is a mystery. That's this closed book. Number 8. 8 is movement. 8 is change and attainment. 8 is strength, Leo energy. And Leo could be ego. We were getting Leo from the sun. 8 is also star, which is attaining our wish, healing, destiny. 20, a merry motive. So 20 is the number 2, which is about duality and choices. Lovers about a choice. A merry motive. Look at all the stars, more star energy, Aquarius energy. Okay, and then we have perception, 35, or the number 8. The frequency of perception supports our natural curiosity, moving us beyond our comfort zone to find the edges of what we perceive as real and to take a good, hard, deep look at it. All right. Number 8 again, 2 8s. 88's a master number. A higher calling that is grounded in self-awareness and reverence for life. So higher awareness, grounded in self-awareness. Okay. Bravery. This is strength energy, which we had with the 8s. 8 is all about the strength. You're being asked to make a tough decision that you've been putting off because of fear, which is understandable, but you do have the strength and bravery to make this decision, and you will feel so much lighter when you do. Life is a mystery, so if you make a decision with the lovers, might not know the outcome, might not be privy to it, and it's asking for us to see something as it truly is. Interesting, and be playful. Okay. We have envy. I am the same as everybody, but with different challenges. So it's tying me back to this oneness. Same as everybody. Surrender to non-action. Now is the time to be still and not act. We were really getting it from this. And I said it is sort of below your level, and just to sort of observe and not fall back. Just kind of stay in a higher consciousness. Now's the time to be still and not act. Simply breathe and focus on your own power. Let others come to you. Wow. And we see the unicorn horn. So unicorns talk about once in a lifetime sort of experiences. Very spiritual. Could be talking about the third eye. Okay, so that's high priestess energy, telepathy, psychic ability, like a seer, and knowing, an intuitive knowing. Trusting. So we have the planet of Saturn. Saturn's the ruling planet for Capricorn and Aquarius. It says, the maturity that brings caution regarding and limits exposed. So Saturn could be an energy of dedication, persistence, sacrifice, commitment. We have the planet of Mars. This is Aries Scorpio energy. Energize, confront, and force yourself to. So it's a masculine energy, although we're being asked to take non-action. But Mars is being assertive and knowing when to stand up and when to take action. Peace, 23, or the number 5. So peace could be the opposite of action, is just sort of being still. More Aquarius energy with the star. And we have 58 with the Chiron Pluto. So this could be about healing shadow with the Chiron Pluto. And then we have the 11th house with community. So 11th house, it's all about friends, social awareness, humanitarianism. It could be about hopes, wishes for the future. Community, 49. Or the number 13, 13 Scorpio, which is transformation, death, which is release. So I do want to read two. I want to read this Merry Motive, and then I want to read this Chiron Pluto. So let's see where the Merry Motive is. Somewhere here, I do believe. Number 20. And it says, key concepts: knowing your own motives, understanding what drives you to meet your goals, the momentum your attention creates, the wisdom behind your intentions. You've chosen a path, you're set, You've set an intention and you've begun to move towards a goal. You feel compelled to keep going. But do you know the why behind this drive? Do you truly want what you're pursuing? Or are you chasing a destination with the anticipation of how it will make others feel about you or you feel about yourself? You must choose to be in the flow of the experience, relishing the moment. Surrender your expectations to a higher power rather than being guided by your limited self. The most important aspect to consider now is where you place your focus, because that's where the energy will flow. If you are resentful, the outer world will show you more opportunities to be resentful. If you're envious of others, competitive, or overly ambitious, you will always feel as if you're not enough. If you focus on your gratitude and compassion for others, you will see even more reasons to be grateful and loving. When you look for abundance, it has an uncanny way of multiplying in your life. So if you're unsure about your motives, the results will be just as unclear. Dig deep to understand your why. If your true desire is to experience X, let go of your attachment to the form of X is supposed to come in. Make sure your motive is merry and joyful, clear and honest, and aim true. Trust that the universe will provide the outcome that is perfect match for your intention. It always does. Wow, that is so beautiful. The other two piles should come here just to listen to that card because it's applicable in all three piles. If you were resonating with any of the other messages or the cards in the other piles, I do suggest you go over there to see what Spirit is chatting about. Okay, so Chiron Pluto, conjunct sextile and trine in primitive state. You justify victimizing others out of a sense of invincible power. Adaptive, you use your position and power to create healing and wounded others. Evolving, you are a leader in transforming trauma both personally and collectively. In conjunct opposition square, primitive, you use pain as a reason to explode at others. Adaptive, you're fearless in probing the origins of your trauma. Evolving, you have powerful methods for helping yourself and others heal from past wounding. Okay, so what I heard when I was reading was heavy swings the cane. And what that saying is that you're in a higher position here, okay? Now, this doesn't mean better or worse, okay? This just means you're a soul that has reached a certain level of consciousness. And so I feel like you might be dealing with situations that might be beneath you or below you. But when I say beneath, below, it's not whether it's good or bad. It's just on a different frequency. And I feel like Spirit wants to keep reminding you of that high vibration in order for you to keep yourself in check. Because I feel like when we're going through this ascension and we're not quite solidified in unity consciousness, we could keep falling back into separation consciousness and start getting pulled into the ego and people's games and the drama. Okay, and Spirit's really saying what you put out there is what you're going to experience. Okay, but it doesn't have to be this serious intensity. It could be just playful energy of knowing I already put my desire out to the universe, and so therefore it is. Okay, therefore it will be. Therefore the universe will provide. I just need to allow the universe to do its thing. I don't need to interject. I don't have to keep checking over my shoulder. I don't have to go back down there to be a doer. I could just let it unfold. And however it unfolds, that's the joy. That's going to be the part that's going to surprise me, because I feel like the universe is going to unfold here beautifully and you're primed for manifesting. But you have the control whether you want to manifest challenge or whether you want to manifest a good experience. I think you know this. But I think the ego and the hurt self, or the self that gets pulled into lower vibrations, is a natural state that can happen suddenly. And then suddenly we're sort of manifesting more low vibe stuff. So Spirit is just saying, allow yourself to put out there what you want with good intention, and then be open to it unfolding without you knowing exactly what the end result will be. You don't have to micromanage it. Okay, it's going to grow into something. And if you see it sort of being pulled from you or going through a metamorphosis, whatever your situation or your manifestation is, trust it's regrowing. okay, or that it's going to grow into something useful here, but it has to go through this regenerating process. Okay, and when we understand how the universe works, we're more enlightened, we see, and then I feel like there's something here that Spirit says, commit to that understanding, commit to the process. Don't start doubting it or falling back. Okay, because the power really is in the way you see the situation. If you start to see the situation as failing and not working, that's exactly what you're going to be experiencing, because you start to feed that. And where your focus goes, where your energy goes, is where it sort of flows, right? So we want to make sure that we're in check, okay, and our intentions are in check. And that anything we put out there is whatever it is that we're expecting to get back in return. And we're all divine brothers and sisters tied together here. Okay. In this community, I feel like this is really saying, like, however you treat other people or whatever it is you're putting out in that situation, it's going to come back to you. It always does. And so the more giving and loving and receiving and accepting we are in this situation, then we're opening the channels to give and receive in a beautiful flow state. But if we're blocked, we're resisting, we're not giving, and then we can't receive. And then there's nothing to be able to receive and things are blocked. Okay, because giving and receiving is equally as important. Because sometimes we get comfortable with just giving and we make it difficult to receive. That's a block. Okay, we have to be equally comfortable with giving and receiving. That means we're open channel. And we have to make sure that both are flowing. Because sabotage, okay, that comes back to the intention, can come in many different forms. One is where I block receiving because I deep down am needing to resolve some part of self that's sabotaging me being blessed and bringing in towards me love and allowing another to be blessed by giving me love, because it's a blessing to be able to allow someone to give love. It's a blessing to receive it equally as it is to give it. It's both blessing and it's both in the highest form. One's not better than the other. But if one's blocked, then the other's blocked. It's like a heart. Okay, and you see like the aorta, or what is it? The two valves. One is incoming and one's outgoing. And when one's blocked, and then they're all blocked. So we have to receive and we have to give. Okay, and so the more love I give, the more I receive, because the universe is going to bring to you tenfold that experience. And so I just need to understand that and hold it true and be devoted and dedicated and committed to that understanding and let it flow. I don't start to distort and start to see other things because maybe my experience starts to, I don't know, get involved in minutia or slight experiences where the book is still writing itself. Okay, so if the book is still writing itself, I'm not going to go in there and change chapters. I'm going to let it write itself. I'm just going to be an observer. I'm going to see, and I'm going to let it regenerate here. Okay, so I feel like you're being asked to do nothing here, because when you do something, it should only be of giving and receiving from love and not from going in there to intervene, because I feel like things could go askew. So you're really just asked for non-action, trust in the divine, lean into your intuition. Okay, and I feel like with the Saturn in this book, it's something you're already involved in creating or manifesting. You've been committed or dedicated. There's been ups and downs, and it's like trust that your engagement here with whatever it is going to manifest for the greatest good. Do not fall back into egoic ways of separation consciousness, them versus me. I'm a victim. My story's different. Okay, which would require courage and trust, because when we surrender, we're trusting the universe. We're showing courage. We're not feeding the fear. Oh, something went sideways. Now all of a sudden I'm going to pull out, kind of like stock market where we see a drop and then all of a sudden we make all these decisions and then the next day it goes up again and we pull all our money out. So it's like trust, because the book is still being written and you'll know when it's time to pull out here. Okay, you'll know. And so I feel like Spirit is saying, know that you are like still sort of this energy to be able to make decisions and to stand for yourself and be empowered. But we might start to fear, if we trust and surrender, that all of a sudden we're helpless and lost and we don't have control over our own sort of ability to speak up for ourselves. And that's far from the truth. It's like, just pick your battles wisely. There's no need to intervene and interject when the story's still being written. And so we're fighting battles and making chapters longer than we need to. When it's like, your Mars energy doesn't go anywhere. In fact, it gets stronger when we know that we're only to be a mouthpiece, to speak a truth when it comes down to having to speak the truth when it matters, not when it's irrelevant, not when it's, in play mode, because it's not important at the time. And I say important, like when we're really, really having a debate, we might think it's the most important thing. And then when in hindsight, we're like, it wasn't even important. I don't know why I was sort of, spending hours trying to convince someone of whatever, that I was right. That sort of thing. That's more play. It's like, let's utilize our energy when it's time to actually deal with situations from an honest point, but always checking our intention. So the key here is, where's your intention, and is it in line with your greatest outcome? Because I feel like your vision of what you want with the Saturn energy has been something that you already know. You're aiming towards whatever that thing is. You've been working towards whatever that is. I think you've been invested or giving to it. And so Spirit is saying, keep that in your mind as what is manifesting, and just always check your intention right here in this moment. What I'm doing or saying, is it creating peace and in line with that outcome for me to have my intention still remain in that high vibration? Or am I acting right now towards a situation or a circumstance that's happening in the moment that has nothing to do with my intention and my outcome? That's not creating peace. It's creating disharmony, and it's leading me off track, because now I'm in separation consciousness. Okay, and so I think you have a great power here, how you influence this, like very strong. And Spirit is saying you could provide healing in your situation to everyone and everything by leading by example. And that's that heavy cane I was talking about. So you're a great example here energetically, because I think what you do and say is going to be a reflection back to you. What people are going to do and say to you is merely what you do and say to these people or the situation. So if I'm putting out crap energetically, then I got to intake the crap. If I'm putting out love, joy, acceptance, non-judgment, and perceiving everything in the most possible, beautiful, loving way, then that is what I experience. And that's what others experience too when they're around me. And so now I'm ready to receive from the universe blessings and generate even more of what I want with all these stars. So you're generating your wishes. And I feel like not only is it your wish, I feel like it's your wishes. And look at how strung on a line, because I feel like they're back to back to back, like manifestation after manifestation of what you want, which opens the door to the next thing and the next thing. And I feel like through this process, we're also healing. We're healing ourselves, and we're healing situations, and we're healing people around us. But I feel like it's in sync here. Okay, so Spirit, what am I missing? Because I still feel like I might be missing something here for pile number 3. What is it pile 3 is needing to know about their situation, their healing process, their ascension, this reading? What am I missing? Please protect me and the viewer as I channel this message for the greatest and highest good of pile 3. Thank you so much, spirits. Please help me to channel clearly so pile 3 knows what I'm channeling here. And thank you so much, pile 3, for allowing me to tap into your energy, the energy around you at this time. I'm so blessed to be here doing your reading. I realize you guys have a lot of readers you can go to. And right now I'm having a 15% off my site, prairievintagejewelry.com. If you use checkout code OneLove15, just like it is on my finger, and you get 15% off. That includes all readings, jewelry, anything else available on my website from now until February 14th, Valentine's Day. Okay. So, Page of Wands. 7 of Wands in reverse. Lots of Wands energy. What is it pile 3 is needing to know about their current energy? And we have 3 swords. Why is this Page of Wands here? We have the Empress in reverse, Taurus energy. Why is this 7 of Wands here, Spirit, in reverse? Oh my goodness, that one went doing cartwheels. 3 Pentacles, clarifying this 9 of Wands in reverse. And then we have Death, Scorpio energy. And look at this lily right on top of this piece. So lilies talk about peace. This one keeps sliding. 6 of Cups. This could be soulmates. Okay, soul recognition, forgiveness. This is also reconciliation. It's also person, place, thing of the past, nostalgia, memories, childhood. It could be a gift. And we have the World. Conclusion, end of a cycle, successful completion of a cycle. And then the 8 of Cups. And the Ladybug's all about luck, fortune, 2 swans. And swans are all about love, compassion. And 2 dragonflies. Dragonflies are all about seeing through the illusion. Butterflies are about freedom, transformation. Okay, give me a little bit here to tap into this. Okay, that's so beautiful, you guys. I always get Jesus through my readings, and this feels Jesus to me. I love, 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 love this energy. You guys are beautiful, and in order for us to be a bigger person when it comes to involving ourselves, sometimes in situations that are challenging or people that are difficult, we're still learning, but we know that the big blessing is what we learn through situations. And we can get frustrated and just throw it all out the window and just sort of lower our expectation or standard and just get totally caught up in situations and not learn anything and get frustrated and go backwards. And that would be okay because it's still part of our journey and our experience. But Spirit is just reminding you here that the best thing we could possibly do in any situation is to surrender, not fight, not get defensive, not try to prove ourselves, but actually understand that we can choose love in every moment, the unconditional kind. Okay, but it's up to us to see and up to us to drive that wherever we want to explore. And so if we want to explore to be unconditionally loving in a situation, it's up to us to explore this, to see it for what it is and really marinate in that experience. Or we can block it if we want, and we can settle in any situation. But I think what Spirit is saying is keep your eye on your intention. And your intention here, I think you know what it is, because I think you've been at it for some time with the Saturn energy and the closed book. And you're ascending and you're experiencing and you're committing yourself to something greater. I think you know this. Greater than the current set of circumstances, greater than the argument, greater than trying to prove yourself in that moment. What is the greater thing that you have your eye on? That is what Spirit wants you to keep your eye on, because that's what's going to get you to work together to create and build harmony, joy, working with others, to get manifestation, to be able to create the solid thing you want. Everything else is just noise. Everything else is just you trying to prove self or win or frustration or ego. Okay, and it creates suffering. But I feel like we still experience suffering. And if we experience suffering by being the greater person, and having a higher state of consciousness, because we still experience pain, because pain doesn't go away. Pain still happens. Okay, you might want to go check out pile number 1. Pain is going to happen. Flat tires happen. People disappoint us. But it's how we deal with the pain that's really the reflection of what we've learned and what is happening. And so whatever pain happens and is happening in your situation, someone disappointed, Someone's not showing up. I failed because of outside circumstance, or something created me feeling separated or lost or pain in my heart here for an experience. Allow yourself to take what that is, okay, as best as you can, without it impacting the greater purpose. And I feel the greater purpose is that of surrender and unconditional love in order to manifest. And once you go through this process, which has ups and downs, by the way, choosing peace in the moment will allow the situation to transform, will allow you specifically to transform. I feel like this intensity of this 3 swords happens when we're not quite fully ascended, and we haven't quite fully reached a state of enlightenment. So we start to, go back, divert back to the intensity of the attachment. I feel separate. I feel pain. This person's brought me some sort of discomfort. It's like, no one's going to bring you discomfort. You are the one that can either be attached to it or not. Okay. And I'm not saying be numb and disassociate. Experience the pain. Experience whatever you're experiencing as a truth in that moment, but know that that's just your perception of what's happening. And the more you connect and transform with a higher state of consciousness, which is really seeing the situation for what it is. This person didn't show up because they're traumatized. This situation was blocked because of an outside circumstance. My inability to progress down this road today, or this experience today, was as a result of energy just not being there because of whatever, an outside circumstance or situation. Nothing to do with me, nothing to do with my wholeness, nothing to do with rocking my peace. Okay, and then the next day it's better because I rocked my peace. But had I given in that moment to that suffering, to that lower state, I would have rocked my peace. And then what would I have learned? Nothing would have transformed, and I would have fallen back into my old way or old pattern and not surrendered. So we have to be committed. Like I'm talking about devotion. Our commitments and devotion to healing and ascension and enlightenment has to be greater than that of the ego, which is pulling us in to trivial things, to lower vibe, to people acting shoddy and shady and separation consciousness. We've played that game. We're not there no more. What we're doing is ascension. What we're doing is working with the divine. What we're doing is waking ourselves up spiritually. And spiritually, that means closer to the divine, which is closer to love, because God is love and God chooses love and peace. God doesn't choose ego, arguments, and trying to be right and defensiveness. It's not who can win this argument or who can stand their position longer is going to win. No, it's the person who can transform, who can raise their consciousness, who can see above a situation, who holds their vision of what they want to manifest. And I feel like it's working with other people to create something beautiful here that's solid, very solid. Okay, and I feel like Spirit is saying, like, in order for us to change this part of ourselves, which could have been developed over time, the 6 cups as a child, to transform that inner self, took a long time with the Saturn energy to develop those habits and those conditions and beliefs. So it's going to take a long time for us to undo a lot of that, but we have to keep choosing the peace. We have to keep choosing the higher state of consciousness. We have to recognize the inner child, and the inner child could feel hurt. And so allow ourselves to feel hurt if we got to feel hurt. But we don't got to attribute or attach that to anyone or anything other than just feeling the feeling of hurtness and letting it pass, just like everything else passes. So we're not attached. We're not defensive. We feel it. We're not disassociating from the emotion. And eventually it closes out. I assure you it closes out, because then the emotions start to peter out. We're not on this pendulum of emotion, feeling a pull of something so intensely and then getting pulled the other way. Things are good and now I'm happy. Things are bad and now I hit rock bottom. Things are good and now I'm on a high. Things are bad and now I'm like wanting to commit suicide. Okay, those are highs and lows, extremes. But when we're ascended to a point where we're seeing beyond the matrix, seeing beyond the egoic self. We're very centered, very grounded, and we're not swinging like a pendulum on emotions. Okay, that's the transformation that you're doing right now. And know that it takes consistent efforts at first to really be conscious of making those choices, because you're going to keep getting pulled by other people, situations, circumstances, especially when it really triggers in the emotions. It really hurts. It's really painful. I really feel the separation. It's okay to feel that way. Doesn't mean all of a sudden you forgot about unity consciousness. It just means, okay, God, I feel this separation because the old self is coming back online, but I know that there's a greater truth that I'm committing myself to, and this too shall pass. And once I go through this, I close out that version of me. I'm surrendered. And now I'm in line with keeping my eye on the prize, which is creating this beautiful vision I have of something I want to manifest. So the Eight of Cups is talking about walking away from the emotionally dissatisfied way of engagement, choosing always to walk away from that, surrendering, like not fighting, not trying to argue for a position, but walking away from it in the sake of harmony here with the two swans. I choose love. I choose harmony. And Spirit says, okay, are you sure? Because choosing love and harmony, keeping your eye on that, means we can't engage in any other way. And so if we start to tell the universe we want harmony and love, we want to work together in peace and create stability, but then we start to give more energy towards, fighting over the little thing, or why I felt this way in that moment, or why this didn't work out that moment, then it's like, no, you're telling the universe that's more important than the bigger picture here. And Spirit's saying, no, keep your eye on the big picture. Everything else is an illusion. Everything else is an illusion. Yeah, look, Queen of Swords sees clearly, and she knows from experience. And she's on this balloon of ascension. Looks like an air balloon. And so the more clear you are in what you see and understand, okay, through your experience, the more you can ascend here with a clear state of mind. Okay, but when we always talk about mind in these readings, I always like to put the caveat to that. If the mind is contaminated with past experiences that are making us carry distorted ideas, then we start to have feelings attached to that dirty mind, and it's distorted. And so we can't listen to the mind if it's unpure. Okay, but I feel like for this group, you've done a lot of shadow work. And so the mind knows the greater truth. The mind knows of the divine. The mind knows that there's traumas and triggers outside of our control. The mind knows that there's unity consciousness, even though sometimes we might feel separate and we might feel feelings we don't like. It doesn't mean that the unity consciousness doesn't exist. It doesn't mean that we're falling back now all of a sudden and we're back into ego. And so therefore unconditional love doesn't matter. And we start to play other people's games. It's like, no, we know that my value has nothing to do with anyone else. So we have to remember that. We have to remember our boundaries. We have to remember what's healthy. We have to remember who we are, like the power within us. We can't forget all of a sudden and stoop. Okay, so let's take a look. This is perfect sort of segue into your guidance. Pile number 3. What is your guidance then here? What is pile 3's guidance and advice? Anything I've missed here in regards to what they're needing to do or know or be in order for them to progress, heal, and move through whatever they're working through in order for them to manifest? Thank you, Spirit. One more. Okay. I connect with heaven. Oh my goodness, you guys, how beautiful. Today I turn inward and connect with the heaven within. From this place of peace, I always choose peace. I can see that a situation I have resented is actually an ideal opportunity to work on my inner self. I understand that such experiences are necessary for my growth. Thus, I accept such situations and now live each day in serenity. Isn't that beautiful? Choosing peace, choosing love. Doesn't matter what anyone else is doing out there. I can still find peace within me and love for myself and for others. Okay, step by step. Today I practice patience. I allow time to fulfill my goals. I understand the wisdom in letting go of control. I know that the true value of each situation lies in its creation rather than in its end result. What did I say? Okay, so we're going to know that it's creating itself, and we're not going to get too focused or hung up on anything. We're going to put our intention and allow the universe to flow and not get too hung up on how it's going to get there. Okay, therefore I allow my life to unfold step by step, inhabiting each moment to the fullest, knowing that my soul is forever rising higher and higher to embrace the light. Okay, this ladder, beautiful, step by step. Okay, and then together in the light. I give thanks for all who enter my life. I understand we are all exactly who and where we are supposed to be, and everyone contributes to each other's personal growth. So I'm not better than anyone. I'm not more healed or more right. I am just in a different place. So we have to accept everyone's point in the journey as valid. So when someone doesn't want to work with me, or when they're faced with their own pain or Chiron Pluto energy, that's okay, because they're equally as valid. Okay, so every reaction someone draws from me is a gift from their soul to mine, meant to help free me from my inner conflicts. Look at getting free. Okay, today by focusing on my own development rather than on others' faults, I become one with the divine. So I'm not focused with what didn't work or why I got hurt or anyone else. I'm like thanking the universe, kissing the universe's feet that this person did what they did in order for me to be awakened, for me to keep ascending, for me to be committed and devoted to my growth. Beautiful. I am light. I always have hope, no matter the ordeal. I have faith in a beautiful future. I turn darkness into light. That's transmuting the energy. That's the salamander energy. I open my heart to others and to God and am spiritually strong. Spiritually strong. I draw light to me and shine with all my being. So spiritually strong it's talking about, because we might not be able to manage material outcomes, people and things in the 3D, but what we can control is how connected to our spiritual tapness, how tapped in are we spiritually? That's always up to us. Am I in the highest state of consciousness right now? That is always under your control. Doesn't matter what everything else is doing. It's going sideways, responses aren't happening, I'm feeling obstacles, challenges, people are being annoying, whatever's happening. What is my state of spirituality right now? Am I knowing that we're all connected, and am I putting out there what it is that I want to experience? Because when I shine that bright light of mine, knowing I'm in control of my spirituality, knowing I'm in control of this is going to dictate what I experience. And so you keep choosing, like I said, really like keep choosing, keep being committed to that growth, okay, of choosing light. And that's how you transmute energy. Okay, but it doesn't mean suppressing or denying any feelings that don't feel good. We have to process, but we don't allow it to take form in action and react out of that place. Okay, me. I allow serenity to reign in me. The love I have for myself invites harmony to settle within my being. I listen to, honor, and strive to fulfill the needs of my soul. Green ray, which is the heart chakra, all about unconditional love. So, beautiful people, it's all about you, not about what's going on out there. You ascending, you being whole and complete, you choosing unconditional love from a heart space, you knowing you're tapped into your spirituality. Nothing can pull you off of that path. It might try, it might do a good job in that, but it's not going to pull you away from seeing the big picture. The end story is going to unfold. Okay, you got to just trust and not get pulled into any sort of deviation. Okay, so very strong. Beautiful energy, pile number 3. If you are pulled to any other pile, I will see you there. If not, I'd like to thank you guys so much for being here. I'm so blessed. I love you guys very, very much. And I will see you guys at the next one. Bye-bye.